Hi, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm good.
How old are you?
24.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, you're in the dark. So what's your first initial?
Can you
Sorry, can you repeat that?
What's your first initial?
P.
Okay. O- Okay. When are you?
LJ?
Okay. Are you? Does your Instagram channel start with a T or an M?
M.
My
The one with
Instagram
the.
started with a T. Toya Consi.
Okay. Well, you're in the dark, so I
Yeah,
can't see you.
yeah, I'm in the dark. I'm
Yeah.
trying.
Well, you can come back. You can come back when you want to be in the light. I just can't have a conversation with anybody in the dark. You're more than welcome to come back. So, what's the issue with me saying? Are you familiar with what I'm talking about? When I said
Um,
that your biggest enemy is not white women, it's Maria. Your biggest competition.
Well, I believe that, honestly, I really believe my biggest competition is myself. Being that, because I really don't focus on anyone else, because honestly, all my relationship problems I've ever been through legit has been like, I feel like it's me versus them. But then when I realize like I'm going through the same thing twice, it's like, all right, I need to do something different with myself. And now I'm at like a crossroad where I feel like at the rate that I'm going, I'm gonna have to get content with being by myself. Like
Well, hold on. How old are you?
24.
24. That's a very young age to be giving up.
Well, I was engaged twice,
So,
and
so life expectancy for a black woman is 82 years old.
yeah, um, yeah. So, and I don't know.
No, no. Let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. You go ahead and quit. You prepared to live the rest of your life alone? Pay for your life all the way through retirement, all on your own. Have your $2.5 million that you need to live from 65 to 85, with no kids, no family, no nothing.
No, I don't want to do that, but
No, no,
it's
no,
like,
no. But if you give up, that's what you're gonna do.
yeah, it's how you could say like, I yeah, if I give up, then yeah, that's
Well, you
what
said
it's
if
gonna
that's
be.
you said be alone, so that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, it. I don't know. I'm an only child, so it's like I already have been content with like being alone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. But see, you're too young to be talking this crazy. I
okay.
don't think you understand what you're talking about. I mean that no disrespect.
Hmm.
I want you to think about the next 24. 5 years ago, you were what? In high school, a senior.
Senior. Hmm.
That seems like a long time ago, don't it?
Yeah. No.
Right.
5. Yeah. 5 years
Yeah, yeah.
ago.
Five,
Senior
six
in
years ago.
college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like a
Hmm.
long time ago.
Hmm.
Well, I need you to understand 60 years is 12 times as long as you was since you was in high school.
Hmm.
My point is, you talk like relationships are optional. Well, are you going to be in the top 5% of all female earners? Do you know you're going to be earning $120,000 or more annually? Are you for sure you're going to be earning that amount of money?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay,
Just have
then
to
how do you?
apply
No,
myself.
no, 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 no. See, if you were a man talking like this, and if you were making average money,
Hmm.
and you live by yourself with no family, when you hit retirement age and you ran out of money, what would you be?
On the road.
Huh?
On the road, basically.
On
Like,
the road?
hmm
What does that mean?
you said if
Yeah,
I'm 60.
if you're 68 years old and you run out of money and
Hmm.
you can't work and you can't earn any more money, what ends up happening?
End up being homeless, and you
Right? Are you prepared? So
no.
this is what you're talking about. Giving
Hmm.
up on relationships at 24, you're basically preparing to be what? A person living by themselves who are living and earning average money. You'll run out of money, no one to
Hmm.
take care of you, homeless.
That's true. Honestly, Kevin, I've been watching your live for a while now, and honestly requesting. And as a 24-year-old, I know what I know what I'm saying is like wild. I know I'm like too young to be saying this and acting like I do know what the future holds. But my question to you is what I always wanted to ask, like my position that I'm in. What is your advice to me who is like
Learn how
I'm
to
headstrong?
learn how to get along with people. Learn how to watch your mouth. Learn how to behave. Learn how to get along with somebody. Life is about people. Why are you looking like that? Like, ooh, learn how to get along. Yeah. Like healthy minded adults. What makes you so special to where you can do what you want to and there's no rules for you? Are you a multimillionaire? Are you independently wealthy? Can you make rules?
No.
Okay, so why is it? I mean, my question to you is why at 24 is the notion of being an agreeable woman making you frown like that?
Because all right, so I'm Jamaican, so my
Uh-huh.
upbringing, it's usually I was told like you don't give a man too much power because you end up in a position where
Uh-huh. And so your mother and and what'd your mother leave you?
where she I'm still with my mom.
Right. And what she got? What your
Well,
mama
that's
going
so
what your mama gonna leave you when she died?
well, whatever, well, beyond the monetary stuff, it's just like,
No, no, not beyond the monetary stuff. How many, you're an only child.
yeah,
What is your mother going to leave you? Because she doesn't have a man.
to my knowledge, just life insurance, whatever policy she took out,
Uh-huh. And that's gonna be
that's
enough to live on.
no, I would never say that. No, I
So
know
in
that.
other words, your mama don't know what she's talking about.
Well,
Your mama,
it's
your
not
mama,
even just her. I don't even.
okay, but see, the thing is, you say you were raised by Jamaican. You're Jamaican.
Yeah,
What you really are saying is you were raised by a bunch of women
yeah.
who have a disdain and a contempt for men. But here's the problem. They ain't rich. And they're
I
leaving you,
understand, but my dad never. Sorry. Oh, okay.
listen. They're leaving you nothing. Why does every other race of women are married at double the rate you guys and are not trying to go through life by themselves?
I don't know. I think they're like codependent. I guess because
Codependent. How about they're intelligent?
um, how can you say like my dad? Like that's the thing. My mom didn't really instill that into me. My dad actually let me know. Like he told me this. Like you need to stand on your own 2 feet.
Your audio went out. Yeah.
Yeah, he told me I have to
Look,
stand on my own 2 feet and like basically don't depend
stand
on a
on your
man.
own too. That's dumb.
Okay.
Your father's wrong too.
Okay.
Why do black women who earn less than black men think you can be alone in this world and live? It's simple math. I don't care what your mama told you, what your daddy told you. Either you're going to have enough money to provide for yourself until you die, or you're not. And most people telling you all this bad stuff have fucked up relationships themselves. So they're passing on that curse to you
Okay.
because you were supposed to be taught how to get along with a man. You were supposed to be taught what a man is supposed to be in your life and what you're supposed to do for that man. Instead, the way you've been talking about men is there something to be feared, avoided, or not trusted. All right, fine. Then live your life by yourself. Okay,
Mhm.
but the thing is, all right, where's the money gonna come from?
Yeah. It's crazy.
No, what's crazy is young ladies like you You got to realize your mother, your father, the mostly have been passing on their problems. At 24, it's too young to be giving up on life. This is why this is why I keep pushing this, because folks, these young ladies are just being programmed to fail. Then what ends up happening? In 5, 7 years, she'll mess around. Women like you in your position tend to mess around and have a baby. Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I said women like you. I didn't say women. I didn't say you. But
No, I
the
know, not
likelihood
me,
is
but yeah.
very high.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's going to be even harder to be a single mother out here who's making average money alone.
Yeah.
Now I want you to think. But instead of doing what I say, learn how to get along with a man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the choice. You either learn how to get along with a man or you suffer.
When you say get along, right? So like, what is your criteria of being like to cross over and to be accepted to get along with that person? Like, you know, I don't know if I'm asking that right, but
Well, do you have a job?
Do I have a job? Yes.
Okay. In order to keep your employment, you got to get along with your employer.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You know how to do this. But you do it because they got your paycheck. And if you don't do that, you'll be fired. And then the outcomes are bad. But the problem is, did you go to college?
Yes.
What's your degree? Did you graduate?
Yeah, criminal justice.
Oh, Jesus. Another one of these useless fucking degrees.
I know, but I just graduated. I got a trade in aesthetics, so I could do something with my hands.
But still, what do you think you're going to make at the height of your career? How much do you think you're going to make a year at the height of your career?
At the height of my career, from the numbers I did, $450,000
A year?
Yeah, with
You're out of your
aesthetics.
front mind.
But
This
aesthetics,
one,
yes.
man, no, you, ma'am, you think you're going to make $500,000 a year?
Yeah, I'm in the process of opening a.
I want you guys to understand. Think about what I always say. When it comes to money, it's going to be some sort of entrepreneurialism. See, in the real world, people who make that kind of money are competent at something. They're surgeons. They're vice presidents. That's 1% of people. But I want you guys to understand how many women, black women, come in here with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, thinking at the height of their career, they're going to make $500,000 a year. That's insane.
So I
Ma'am,
listen.
that's just,
No, I
ma'am,
listen
ma'am,
to your
that's
program.
insane. Ma'am, do you, first off, I'll answer your question.
Yeah.
But if you watch my content,
Mm-hmm.
50% of black women earn 74% of black women earn less than $50,000 a year.
I understand.
9% of black women earn more than $75,000 a year. How do you plan on making $450,000 a year?
With having a day med spa. And that's also another thing I wanted to ask you. You're like, okay, when females come on, so I'm speaking because so basically, if I'm here planning my life, right, and I'm planning a career path, okay, criminal justice, I understand what you say about that degree. It's basically useless, and it's
Hold on,
you could
man.
guarantee.
Let's walk through the numbers. How much are you earning right now?
Right now, I'm earning $70,000 a year.
And what state do you live in?
New York.
Right. New York City?
That's barely nothing. Nothing.
New York City?
Yes.
Right. Well, rent is $3,000 a month. So it's like you make $35,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you going to get the money to start a business living paycheck to paycheck?
Well, that's where the business part come in. If I'm looking for, if I have investors and
no, ma'am, no. Investors, could you go into a bank? First off, do you know people who have free capital to invest in a business?
Yes.
Who?
My godfather.
One person.
No, a couple is actually 3 of them.
Uh-huh.
No, but
Again,
Kevin, so when you
no, I
speak
want you
it,
guys
no,
to,
I'm asking you
no,
for
no, no,
advice.
I'm
No,
giving
I'm
you,
asking you.
stop. My advice is understand how business works.
Yeah.
The business you're talking about, do you think you make $500,000 owning a spa? Do you
And
know?
more. It's
No,
more to it.
no, I know there is more to it. See, I want
So
you guys to understand. The reason men are out of the equation for most Black women is because for some they all tend to think they're going to be able to go be these entrepreneurs and have these high income careers. At the end of the day, man, less than 0.1% of women earn the kind of money you're talking about.
so,
You don't have. You make 30 adjusted. You make $35,000 a year and live with your mama. And that
mm,
you think that I believe anybody that's watching this with any business sense believes that you can go from that to making $500,000 a year, and you're going to get the money to start a business from your godfathers. Well, here's the problem: can you go to the bank and get money? Will you have the income, the credit, or the collateral to go get a substantial small business loan?
no, but that's why I
Then there you
have
go.
to.
There you go. There you go. So
So
that's
let
why
me ask you, Kevin. So as a
hold on,
24,
I will get to it, but that's why you have to rely on family because you couldn't qualify for it the normal way.
but we all have to start somewhere. So what I really
Yeah.
always want to ask you is, all right, I'm speaking to you now, and then you're replying to
Mm-hmm.
me with this. So
Mm-hmm.
what should be my takeaway from this conversation? How is that supposed to motivate me to actually
Slapping you in
structure
the
to
what's
form a
supposed to motivate you
balance?
because first off, the reality, you got a criminal justice degree and you're an
Yeah,
average woman living with your mama. Average women don't make $500,000 a year just because they want it.
but this,
Listen. If you study business, 80% of small businesses fail in the first 5 years. Most people have to go through several businesses before they have one that work, and they don't make all this. I want you guys to understand that our women have been told that through entrepreneurialism, they can all be boss chicks. And they're looking at very small people who have made it. Do you know anybody that's running a business that's making $500,000 take home?
yes.
Who?
Well, if you know about No Limit in New York, the guy who he owns the whole entire franchise,
No
they come,
limit. No
yeah,
limit.
No Limit Auto Body. They deal with cars.
Right. And you know the owner.
Yes, personally.
Uh-huh.
He sponsored my fundraising for
Sponsored your
Thanksgiving that just passed.
right. And have you mentored under him?
Well, since I know him for the past year and a half.
Okay. And my point is, and I'm gonna let you guys know why I do this because I need everybody watching. Our women would rather do this than simply learn how to get along with a man.
No, I have no problem with that. That's the thing. I don't want you to think I have a problem. I
Okay,
really just want to know.
I would tell you that I say that because when I said get along with a man and your expressions 15 minutes ago was just like, but if you're thinking you're going to be this business owner earning $500,000 a year, man, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this serious question.
Mhm.
What out of 100%, what percent chance do you think you have for your hopes to come true?
75%. And I'm good enough to work off that because I really want to know. I have no problem with getting along with a man, but it's like, okay, if
You
I'm
think you
too
have a
young, if
75% chance? Think
if
you have a no. You think you have a 75% chance of earning almost $500,000 a year?
yeah, before I turn 30.
Let me go ahead and help you out.
Okay.
I'm just saying, dude, this is insane. This is
I'm
insane. This is insane.
but
This
if
is
I'm
insane.
too young
This,
to give up on
this is
relationship,
insane.
why am
This
I
is
not
insane,
too young
ma'am.
to give up
This
on
is
my
it, ma'am.
career?
You live with because there's not a. This is not a career. This is a
What
fantasy.
aesthetics?
Okay, you have a criminal justice degree. Do you have student loan debt?
No.
Okay, you are 24 years old, and you're telling everybody on Instagram right now that in the next 5 years you're gonna go from living with your mama to earning $500,000 a year.
Yeah, if I pick the right career to do that. So
What
if
career?
I
What careers? Okay, career, man.
aesthetics,
That
medical,
aesthetic. Doing
I deal
what?
with the skin.
I
So
know,
how
but
can
what
I
what will you
lose?
be doing? How can you lose? Because you have no
I
fucking
could go in,
customers.
huh?
Because you have no customers. What will you be doing in aesthetics? Let's walk this
It's
down.
I
No, no,
don't
no,
have
no,
to
no,
deal
no,
with
no, 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 no. Aesthetics.
yeah.
I know what aesthetics is.
Yeah, so if
But
I'm
what are you
not
going to be
dealing
doing?
with
What are you going to be
clients,
doing?
I
What
could
are you going to be
also
doing?
build
What are you going to be doing? What are you going to be doing? Before you
I
can own the business, you have to. Before you own the business, you have to learn the business.
yeah.
So what are you going to be doing in the next 2 years to learn the business?
In the next 2 years, what I'm going to be doing, I am opening up a storefront in I'm opening up a storefront in March. In the process, I'm working for the number one black spa in New York right now
Uh-huh.
called
So,
Diamond.
so what would your title be?
I'm an esthetician.
An esthetician.
Well, I'm sorry for my accent, but that's
I'm just
how
saying an
I've been saying it.
esthetician. Okay, an esthetician. How much do estheticians earn?
It varies.
Uh-huh. What do you think?
It goes from 50,000 all the way up.
All the way up. There's an average. There's an average. But for what you're talking about is you're going to go esthetician. Average salary of an esthetician is right around $46,000 a year. There's not all the way up. The low end is $24,000 a year. The high end is 62. The average is $46,000 a year. I don't want to hear about the fantasy. That's the number we're going to work from because you don't have a better one. You don't have a better number, so don't tell me a better number. This is from Glassdoor, Salary.com, and ZipRecruiter. You don't have a
Okay.
better number, so we're not going to make anything other than what the averages are. And
Okay,
that's for
but
that's for people who have been in the business for 5 years.
that's
You
working in a
stop,
salon.
because you have to. You don't even know. Okay, man. You think you're gonna go from being a beginning esthetician to owning a salon and not knowing how to even what your people are supposed to do?
But
So let me
that's
get
what I went to school for.
right. So So here's how it works, people. You and I have to go to work to learn our professions, to become subject matter experts and work the slow way. You can go to school in criminal justice and then decide to go get an esthetician's license, and then you can go work as an esthetician for a couple of years. Then all of a sudden, you can go own some sort of spa, getting money from people that you know, and take their money to turn around to make yourself $500,000 a year take home. And you're supposed to have all that, and you've never run a business before. You just went to school. And all that's going to happen in 5 years. How many employees do you think you're going to need to have working for you to take home $500,000 a year?
I'm not gonna have employees. I'm gonna have independent, independent
How
contractors.
many contractors?
10.
10. And what percentage of you going to get from each contractor?
I'm getting 20. No, I'm getting 35% from each contractor.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is, and why am I doing this example, people? Because see, when I talk about how our women are their careers and things like that are more important. See, all the thought process you put into that, have you put nearly that amount of thought process into learning how to get along with a man?
I tried
No.
for 4 years.
No. Yeah, one man.
I've been engaged twice.
Okay, so and this is why I rail so bad against this boss chick, this bad chick culture. we hear so, you may, I don't know how long you've been watching, but every week we hear some young black woman thinking they're going to be making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in that amount of time. I could pull up video after video after
But I
video.
never said that though. That's
But
the long.
but you
That's
said
the
you're gonna
long
do it in
run.
5 years, man. You said
Yeah,
you were making
that's
$500
the
million
goal.
about
And
before 30.
if all the stats is telling me that that's what I could do, then why?
Mm-hmm.
If you're speaking to someone at this age, why wouldn't you tell them to pursue that though? That's why I'm like a bit lost.
I grow my business to where maybe it's not multi-billionaire.
All right, I don't come like that. I watched that, and that's
I don't
not.
care. It's not about you.
Yeah, I seen that, and
It's not about you.
I
It's
agreed
not
with what
about
you
you.
told her.
My point is, this is how far, as a community, how do you build any kind of community with women your age, at your youth, are so far from even being wise? That's the bottom line, man. You may not like my method, but while other races of women are looking to partner with their men and build, our young women are all trying to be bosses, earning all this money, and it's a fucking fantasy. Because the numbers come out. You can't go to a bank and get a loan. You have to do non-traditional methods. You got to know somebody who owns no limit, and a godfather has to do this, and this has to do that. And every single thing that you do has to work. You can't take any setbacks to get to $500,000 in 5 years, making $35,000 adjusted, living in New York City with your mama. And they would rather do this than get the psychological help to do the healing, to get over the traumas that you've had, whatever man you've dealt with, because whatever your issue was, you picked it, you stayed for 4 years. That's not the next man's problem. And every other group of women out there recognizes that I am not going to be able to make $400,000 a year. That's not how the numbers work. That's why I tell you, our women all have this real estate, entrepreneur, some sort of hustle. You have yet to hear a black woman come in saying they're going to make low to mid six figures through being an attorney, through being a physician, through anything that's reliable that you can track. It always has something to do with some sort of entrepreneurialism, fairy dust, a dream, a manifestation. So you can never argue against it. And they would rather do this than the old tried and true method. Get with a man, work with a man, build with a man. Can't make this shit up. I'm gonna tell you, young lady, what I suggest you do is understand what the issues are, why you think this makes more sense than trying to, I mean, I think it's a sad way to live. To already have given up on relationships and life at 24. Because even if it did work, I know women who are multimillionaires. I know women who are making $5-10 million a year who talk like they're bosses, but when they are really honest, they are lonely as hell. Lives are empty as fuck with all that stuff. And at 24, sounds like your mother and father projected their issues onto you. You've had a bad relationship. So we've all had bad relationships. But you want to do life on your own? It's a bad way to go. But if you choose to, that's on you. But you're going to have to make that money. And I'm going to say this before I wrap up. Man, the numbers are what they are. The likelihood of you making $500,000 a year is less than 0.1%. Would you get on an airplane if you had 0.1% chance of surviving? Or would you say, well, if God got it for me?
That's a whole nother conversation, honestly.
All right, well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, I do that not to try to embarrass anybody, but you guys got to understand that whether you like it or not, men are hearing this from and say, men are this bad? You would rather have to do all this stuff? You can't just go make up stuff. I'm gonna make $500,000.
And guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. More respect on the legend Kevin Samuels. I think this guy was fantastic with his content, the way he delivers his message across, the way he asks his questions, and the manner in which he framed those questions and demand answers from these women that refuses to answer questions. Let's be honest, as guys that watches this type of content, we all can agree that at some point we've been with these type of women, and when you ask them questions and they don't feel like answering it, they're just not answering, and there is nothing you just can do, right? So the way he is always able to ask his questions, get his questions through them, and get them answer the questions is just, I mean, a whole another level when it comes to these type of conversations. So let's give him the credit and the flowers that this guy deserves. He did so much great job talking to these women. It's so draining, man. And one of the things that when I watch these type of videos baffles my mind, and I mean just make me so sad, is the fact that when Kevin Samuels asked her why wouldn't she work on herself to learn how to get along with a man, she frowned her face. That was a big tell. Getting along with a life partner, someone that God created you to be with, right? God created us to be in groups. This is one thing that black women fail to understand. Men and women are made to be with each other. We are not meant to be individuals, doing your own thing and I'll be doing my own thing. That's not how God created us. If God wanted us to be that way, a woman should have both womanhood and manhood in her, because then she wouldn't have to need the male side of, the species, and the female wouldn't also need the male wouldn't also need the female side of the speech, right? The species. So that's how God would have created it. But God made us understand that we are meant to just be together. That's why He made us differently. I mean, you are a man and there is a woman, so the opposite come together and you get both, both of the species. But our women mindset, working with a man is so difficult that making $500,000, $500,000 a year. This is what this lady has just shown in this video. She has shown that making that amount of money is kind of easier than working on her attitude to stay with a man, to be with two double income, to be able to hold themselves down throughout life. That's what this lady has proven, because when he talked about working on her attitude to be with a man, it's almost like that's the worst, or that's the most difficult job she just can do. You're making $70,000 with criminal justice degree, and you just think that overnight you just can be making $500,000 a year. And that goes a long way to also prove why when women are with top tier guys that are making tons and tons of money, they kind of see those type of guys to be normal guys in their eyes. Because when you have a lady like this making $70,000 thinking that she can make $500,000 a year, explain to me how when this lady come across a guy that is making $500,000 a year, how she will kind of treat that guy as a special guy, because she think that making money is that easy. So working on herself to be with a man, there's a problem. It's difficult, but making $500,000 a year is that easy. But the delusion and the stupidity of most women, statistics has proven that less than, not even up to 1% of men across not just America, the whole, world, makes less than $100,000. So if it was that easy that just a bimbo would, criminal justice degree can just wake up and make it like that, then so many people would have been making $500,000 and the statistic would have been different. Maybe it would have been 50% of men or 50% of human beings are making well over $500,000. But the statistics is what it is. So that tells you that that money that you think or you kind of make it look like it is easier to make than getting your attitude in check to be with a man is easier. I think she would have thought of it. And the second thing she said in the video that also caught my attention is when she talked about, oh, when someone comes on your show to listen, to learn something, to get motivated to do something, and the person come in and these are the answers you are giving to the person, how is the person going to get motivated to do whatever or achieve whatever he or she want to achieve? She want to achieve, right? Because she's speaking basically on when he's mostly talking to women or something like that, because I don't think this lady has probably watched Kevin Samuels' male content. I mean, talking with men. I don't think this lady probably has come across those type of videos. Then I think their mindset would have changed if some of these women probably come across his male videos, right? But when she said that, what came into my mind is this. I've been saying this oftentimes, and people kind of always think that maybe I'm just an asshole or against women or something. No. The truth is, when these women come into these conversation spaces to have these conversations and ask their questions, most of you think that genuinely they're just looking for real answers, accurate answers that is just going to help them in their situation. The reality is, no, that's not the case. They are always having answers in their head. They're just coming in for you to confirm those answers that they have in their heads already, right? Kevin Samuels is basically setting your mindset to think straight, to be able to be with a man, right? And you are saying, I'm just going to give up on relationship, pursue a career or, whether a job that is going to make him $500,000. And when he speaks against it, then he's kind of, is it that he's setting you up for failure? I think that's what she really mean by saying, oh, how do you get motivated to do anything else? So she just expected Kevin Samuels to say, yeah, give up on relationship. I think making $500,000 is easier, when that's a lie. And this is the difference between Kevin Samuel content and the rest. Steve Harvey, Derek Jackson, and all those kind of guys. This is the difference in content making when it comes to these guys that makes this type of relationship content talking with women. Kevin Samuels is more authentic, right? The level of authentication in his videos is top-notch, different. He don't give a fuck about how you are going to feel about the information he's giving, as long as he know within his soul that he's not giving you the wrong information. Someone like Steve Harvey is always caring about how the person will feel about the information he is giving her, so she will reaffirm whatever belief that you have in you. For instance, had it been Steve Harvey in this situation, more likely he's just going to confirm the bullshit that is in the lady's head, and she would think that that's the right way to go. Kevin Samuels, no. He's setting you up straight because he's more concerned about black families, black men and black women working together. That's just what's up, man. And it's not about the money. Most of those guys are always thinking of their donations. How to get money from these women, because when you speak against women, they are not going to donate. It's a fact. So Kevin is not about that. Guys, if you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one. I'm out.